welcome to Business Buzz. I'm joined here today, where I'm actually joining him in his office here in North Meridian, James Barker with Bonfire Chiropractic.
Sean, thanks for having us.
Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. So Bonfire Chiropractic, tell us a little bit about what makes Bonfire Chiropractic different than all the other chiropractors in the Valley.
Yeah, that's a good question, Sean. I mean, there's a lot of great practitioners in the Valley. Actually, there's a lot of really good chiropractors here. What makes us a little bit different is we do, I would say, two big things differently. We're what we call a structural correction office, meaning we take x-rays in our office of people who can actually see and visualize those structures. And my perception, my belief is that nobody should see a chiropractor that doesn't take x-rays, because they really need to know the structures that they're dealing with. So that's first and foremost. The second thing is that we're what we call a neurologically-based office, meaning that we are really focused on helping optimize the nervous system to make sure that people can heal and recover and live a great, healthy life all the way around.
Okay. And your offices, I think we were just out here a little bit a year ago, opening your office here in North Meridian. Why did you choose North Meridian?
So there's just a lot of great families out this direction, right? And there's a need out here. And we want to make an impact for health and wellness, like I said. And, as long as families are moving this direction, we have that obligation to help support them. So eventually our vision is to have a couple more offices around the Valley. We'll be going back to Southeast Boise at some point. That's our next spot. And then probably South Meridian or Nampa maybe next. Okay. But we love Meridian. My wife loves living in Meridian. I love living here. Where our community, our church, everything is here. So we love just taking care of those people.
So your website, and you mentioned a little bit earlier, neurologically-based medicine. Tell us a little bit, what does that really mean? What else is it that you do to help people with the neurologically-based medicine?
That's a good question. So, we use neurological assessment to figure out where people need to have their adjustments made. So myself and my partner both do instrument and by hand adjustments. I'm about 90% by hand. He's about 10%. He's 90% by instrument, and then vice versa. So when we do an assessment on a patient's body, traditional chiropractic is a chiropractor will go along the spine and they'll feel where there's a bone out of place. Okay, let me push that one back in. We don't necessarily do that. We do it based off of a nervous system reflex that's actually in your Achilles tendon. A lot of people know about the knee reflex. You're probably familiar with that. Yeah. The dog hits you in the knee. Exactly. Your knee and your leg kicks involuntarily, right? You have one of those in your Achilles tendon too. So we use an assessment where we can get a reading on where is there a misalignment in the spine based off what's happening neurologically, and that's where we know a person needs a correction. So it's not based on what I think you need. It's not based on what you think you need. It's based on what your body says you need. And I have found in my experience that the results are tremendous, because if we just listen to the body and give it what it's asking for, it'll recover, it'll heal. People will get out of pain, they'll get out of dysfunction, they'll get out of major bodily conditions.
Okay. So when we walked in, I noticed in your lobby, you've got a kind of a children's area. Do you see children, and is there a need for them to see a chiropractor?
Absolutely. That's a great question. Again, we love taking care of kids. It's easier to grow healthy kids than it is to fix broken adults, right? Yeah. So we do a lot with kids for various reasons. One of the biggest, though, to be honest with you, is the birthing process is very hard on a child. As those doctors help the baby escape the birth canal, there's a lot of stress and trauma that's done to the cervical spine, the neck, a lot of times. And so things can develop as a result of that. Anything from neurodevelopmental disorders to, some people would say autism, sensory processing disorders, and then, of course, migraine headaches eventually later on in life, right? And then we've got, kids that are bedwetters that can't control their bladder. We've got kids that are experiencing ulcerative colitis that are getting major breakthroughs. I mean, these are parents that are very concerned about what's happening with their child. And then when they bring them in and we're able to do a neurological assessment on them and say, okay, this is exactly how your child needs to be treated, they can hook up with that, and we start getting involved in that child's care. And we literally see chiropractic miracles almost on a daily basis. I mean, I can't
Amazing.
Say. Yeah. It's a little
Never would have thought of that. Sometimes you think it's just the mom that went through the stress.
Right? No, it is incredibly stressful, mom, and she should get adjusted too. Yeah. But the kid, the baby, a lot of times, just tremendous amount of stress that happens during that process. So we love to take care of those kids. The youngest I've ever adjusted is 4 days old. my partner adjusted all of his kids, the day they were born. So
speaking of your partner,
yeah,
you're co-owner here at Bonfire. You're
correct.
a doctor. You're do the marketing. Tell us a little bit about your partner.
Yeah, so Dr. Ryan Weed, he is a Boise native, grew up here, was born and raised in Southeast Boise, and then moved out to Meridian in I think 2018, and has loved being a part of his community here as well. He's a great guy, solid family man, solid man of faith. And so I actually took over his space in Southeast Boise at one point, and then we lost track of each other, and then reconnected after a couple years. And we said, hey, we want to open up a couple clinics around the valley, and we want to start in Meridian. We want this to be our flagship, our mothership right here.
Well, it's a beautiful facility.
Yeah, we're really happy with it.
Yeah, that very nice facility. So, James, what's the best way for our viewers to find out more about Bonfire Chiropractic, or to get in touch with you if they want to schedule an appointment?
Well, two things I would say. My favorite thing, Sean, is when people go to Instagram, because that gives us the opportunity to provide a lot of education to them. They don't even have to come into the office necessarily. We can just, communicate value to them that way. The second is the website for sure. Okay. Great. A lot of information explains my background, my education, why I have the neurological background, master's in neuroscience, that kind of stuff. So they can find out more about us there. And then of course they can just, if nothing else, they can just call the number and schedule an appointment and go from there.
Well, James, thank you so much for inviting us in today. You have a beautiful space here, and we're so happy you're a part of the Meridian Chamber family.
We're stoked to be here, Sean, and I really appreciate your time and you and Lauren coming out today.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Chamber members, hope you enjoy the nice weekend coming up, but we've got some chamber activities on the calendar ahead. May 14th, we have our Leadership Meridian graduation and alumni dinner. There's still tickets available for that. Please come out and join us for that event. And then on May 23rd, we have the first ever Meta Business Training event. It's a free event. Meta, our friends with Facebook, Instagram, all of those great social media platforms, are doing a training session there at the West Ada School District. Be sure and register and come join us for that great event. And then make sure you mark your calendars for June 5th. We have the State of the City address coming up. Mayor Robert Simonson. Until then, Meridian, have a great weekend.